Hey guys, welcome to my channel where if you know, you can grow. So let's erase our doubt and let's pay attention because with Sean, it's always something there. Alright, so this philodendron definitely is from like the Central Americas. We're talking about like Panama, places like that. And they're definitely more so found in the tropical rainforest. As with a lot of philodendrons. The leaf shapes, of course, have the typical philodendron look to them, which is that heart leaf. These leaves actually can get up to be 3 feet long. I don't know if they're going to get to be 3 feet long inside of a house, but I mean, the leaf size right now is pretty daggone impressive. Like many philodendrons, this one is a climber, and so it uses its aerial roots to attach, like if it was out in the wild, to the trees, but in here, let's just say to the moss pole or to a plank, and that's what it structures itself on, and that's what's going to push out those bigger leaves, and that's what we need to do to establish something pretty big right now. Light requirement is the same with philodendrons. It definitely loves that bright, indirect light. So you can place it by the window as long as that sun isn't coming in directly, because it will beam those leaves, fry them up. We're talking about like humidity. As with most tropical plants, they love that warm feeling. If humidity is a problem in your house, again, get you a humidifier. I am not using a humidifier. I'm not using anything. I'm just gonna let it naturally do what it do. If it comes to a problem later on down the road, then we'll revisit it. But for right now, I'm okay with what's going on. Of course, with any plant, not just philodendrons, that having a plant around helps a lot with your air. Another good thing to talk about with this plant is its watering needs. This is a plant that prefers to dry out before you rewater it again, which just takes us to our soil preferences. Soil preferences, they love a chunky mix. They love that perlite, that orchid bark, and some of that indoor pot mix. I would definitely recommend to do a 30-30-30 and whatever towards the end for your 10%. So this right here is those aerial roots that I was talking about that like to attach to the tree or attach to a plank and then to make the plant actually climb up. Which brings me to propagation. Can this plant be propagated? Absolutely. All you need to do is to propagate this plant is to just take a cutting right here. You see your area roots are right here. You want to cut halfway underneath the area roots. Place this into some water, and before you know it, you have roots like this. Now, this plant has been in water for roughly 4 months, and this is the root system that it has created. So now this is a more mature plant, so the roots are going to build a little bit faster than if it was a smaller plant. So just keep that in mind. And the most important part to know is this plant is toxic. So you definitely want to keep it around from babies or animals that love to just put things in their mouth. Maybe even an adult, just saying. All right, so now that we have that out the way, let's get to grooming. I really don't know which direction I want to go with this plant because I've had 3 of these in here and the plant has decided to not attach to it, which I understand because I have not been keeping them moist. But I at least want the plant to be structured on it so that way it can lean on it so it doesn't snap and break. Because this plant is very heavy. The vines, they're not light. So if I could find a way to keep these and do it, I will. So definitely what I would recommend using, I'm gonna use my green snap. I don't know exactly the correct term for it, but if you type in, what do you need to type in? I really don't know. What I will say, it's like green Velcro and it's safe for the plants and it's very soft right here in the inside of it. And this part right here is the part that it sticks to, of course. And what I would do is cut some pieces of this and to be able to use it just to attach to. I'm not necessarily worried about the aerial roots attaching so my plant can grow because the plant is growing fine without it. I'm more so just making sure it has some stability. So I definitely would cut off a couple of pieces just so you don't get in the middle of doing work and have to cut another piece in order for your plant to stay up. So we're gonna start off with 3. as you can see, it didn't take too long. It actually is just all about trying to figure out where you want your leaves to go. This plant is going to continue to take off. It is time for me to get ready to give her a watering, and I'm also going to feed her with some food that I always talk about. Let me see. This is the stuff I'm always talking about. Food is really, really good for your plants. I used to not feed my plants at all until some people in the plant community reached out to me and said, hey, Sean, you need to feed your plants. Got it, never look back. So these clippings that I do have right here, I am gonna water propagate these, just gonna stick them in some water because as you can tell, I did cut below the area roots, and this one right here was actually growing a little bit into the soil. So I actually could just stick it right in soil and not even have to deal with it at all if I choose to. This one right here, I would just go ahead and water propagate that. So here's a good example. You see those area roots that are right here. That's what you want to drop into water. And we want to put it in water about halfway. Most likely this leaf right here, I'm going to go ahead and pull it because when I put this in water, this is going to get a little soggy and possibly this leaf right here could start turning yellow. But guys, we're going to grow some amazing, amazing plants. It's already one right here coming. So hopefully the cutting didn't mess that up, but we'll find out. But yeah. So as always, I appreciate you being here. Grow and shine.